So today, guys, we are covering a story from Bradford about a man who blasted a Bradford house with a semi-automatic pistol in a targeted attack. Daniel Nowek donned a mask and gloves when he fired 4 shots at a house in Beerley in the early hours of October 20th, 2020, before fleeing by car to London, where he was arrested 8 days later. A search of the house in Keighley in which the 31-year-old had been living recovered a Russian-made 9mm Makarov semi-automatic pistol, as well as a Turkish-made 4mm Ekol miniature revolver. Daniel Nowek was associated with organised criminals involved in the drugs trade. 2 weeks before the shooting, police found a cannabis farm in the basement of a rented property in Neville Street, Keighley. They were alerted by members of the owner's family, who saw Daniel Nowek and another man carrying quantities of cannabis plants from the house to a Mercedes car. Believing the address to be linked to Polish nationals, police went to a house on the same street. The semi-automatic handgun was later found at this address. The Neville Street cannabis grow and the defendant's links to cannabis production are linked to the shooting incident. The shooting took place at around 4 a.m. on October 20th, 2020, when a woman in the house in Beerley was awakened by a noise. Bullets and bullet fragments showed police that a gun had been discharged with at least 4 shots fired at the house. 3 rounds had hit the kitchen window, surrounding brickwork and a wooden porch, but one had passed through the window and across the kitchen before embedding itself in the wall. Forensic evidence recovered at the scene established that Nowek had fired the gun, and CCTV footage showed his Mercedes driving into Bradford and arriving at the house at 3:45 a.m. Daniel Nowek was wearing a mask and was standing outside the property and fires repeatedly at the address before running away. The court heard that on the night after the shooting, Nowek drove to London, where he was later arrested after being found trying to break into the Mercedes, claiming he had lost his keys. The Mercedes was seized, and inside it was found a rucksack containing clothing, including a mask, that Daniel Nowek had worn for the shooting. Gunshot residue linked him to the discharge of the pistol. When police searched the address at Neville Street, they found the Makarov semi-automatic and the Ekol revolver both being prohibited weapons. Tests performed on the Makarov conclusively determined that it had been used in the Beerley shooting. Daniel Nowek's DNA was also found on the revolver's hammer, grips and trigger. A search of a London flat where Nowek had briefly stayed revealed more than 200 ecstasy tablets. When interviewed by police, Daniel Nowek denied any knowledge of the shooting and said he had been abroad at the time. He later pleaded guilty to possessing a firearm with intent to cause fear of violence, possession of a prohibited firearm, and possession of a Class A drug. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more engaging stories.